Hello friends, I'm back with my art therapy technique. This time it's the technique number 4 which I'll be talking about, and it's based on scribbles. Okay, before I proceed with the technique, let me tell you what scribbles are and why is it important in art therapy and analyzing what's going on inside your mind. Scribbles are unmindful strokes of line. It can be curves, it can be very ragged lines, it can be pointed, it can be just dots. So scribbles can range from anything of these. When we are scribbling, we are not giving conscious thoughts to it. We are just unmindfully scribbling on paper whatever comes to our mind. We are not making any concrete objects. Okay, so I'll be telling you about 12 different designs of scribbles. There are different types of scribbles and 12 different types are there. There can be more, but for the time being I'll be showing you 12 such designs. One of the most easiest one are the dots. Okay, if you see it, is just a series of points. Okay, this is one way of doing it, and I'll be showing you how to do the next few. Okay, to start with, we are going to take these rectangular sheets of paper. It should be cardstock or watercolor paper, and if you don't have those, you can also use these chart papers, thick ones. Try not to use A4 sheets, the normal thin A4 sheets, because it's not going to be sturdy and it's not going to last long. So I would start with this. First of all, you need to just put dots at the four corners. If you don't want borders, that is optional. Very lightly draw these lines so that you can erase it later on. These are just boundary lines inside which we are going to scribble. If you have someone who is very restless, you can try out a smaller sheet, maybe a square sheet, rectangle, square, it's up to you. Okay. If you want to fill up this entire paper, you can, but in case you don't want to, you can make spaces inside any random design. This in fact makes it more difficult to fill in because you'll need to maintain the boundary, but if you are starting off with someone for the first time, you can just leave it blank and ask the person to fill up. These are actually your reference cards. You can show it to your clients or whoever you are doing it on, and then you can start off. So the second design which we did on scribble, I'll start off with a very simple technique. This was the one. Okay, we will just do zigzag lines. These are pointed lines. So we start from maybe one corner and we keep filling it. Make it a point that it is in one direction. Try to maintain the entire pattern throughout the page, whichever space you have got. can lift your pen. It's not mandatory that you have to do it at one go. So this is one technique which I just showed you. This is one of the most simplest scribbles. This one is a more advanced technique of scribbling. This also needs a lot of patience. So I'll be taking up smaller spaces to do it. Maybe now I can invert it. I can scribble inside rather than the outside. Okay, this is one of the variations. Okay, this one is the heart. You can see small heart patterns which are filled. So I'll show you how to do it. This time I'll be filling up the inside rather than the outside. So I start from here. There'll be a lot of loops. It should form a heart-like structure. It can overlap, but make it a point that it forms a heart-like structure. Do small ones because it will be easier to accomplish. If you go wrong, it's okay, doesn't matter. Just keep doing the loops and try to form hearts. This is pretty complex for people who have just learned how to deal with their impulsivity. So this needs a lot of patience to do. And a lot of hand-eye movement is also involved in this. So you can see tiny hearts filling up this entire space. Similarly, do it for this as well as this. For the next one, I haven't bordered this page, but you can do it. I'll be drawing a boxed area. This pattern is somewhat like it goes fast and then you go back the opposite way. Again fast and the opposite way. Again these are like U's which you need to fill in. Without lifting your pen as much as you can do. The rest of the techniques, this one, it's an improvisation. You first do horizontal lines and then the vertical lines. It is derived from this. This is derived from the 8 method, this one, which you can just scribble randomly everywhere. This I've showed you. This also. This is a similar thing which involves retracing back. So almost I'm done with all the scribbles and I'll show you the end product. I'll post pictures of them. The next one which I'm going to show you is again a form of scribble. I'm going to show you the 8, this one, the 8 scribble. So again I boundary it out with any kind of abstract design, and then you have to fill this entire space with 8s. It would be good if you don't lift your pen while you're finishing one row. So that's the way you do it. It need not be a perfect 8, but try to. Scribble should be fast, okay, so it should not be very immaculate, and there'll be no scope for rectifying your errors. If you make one, let it be. You can fill it up with bigger 8s if you want. People who have a problem with impulsivity, they'll have trouble doing this, but this will help them as well to focus. It improves hand-eye coordination. The variation of this, the next scribble, is just random thread-like structures here. There's a difference. This is more like the 8 you have to draw. This is any random pattern which you can draw. And while you're doing it, it can be any gel pen, or it can be this with the liquid ink. The ink is free flowing, so you can use this, or you can use any kind of black gel pen. If you want to use colors, you can, but avoid using sketch pens as it becomes blotchy and the lines are also thick, so we want finer lines here. Done with this. It can be a bigger 8 also, it depends on how much you can put in. So this will be your end result with just the 8 scribbled on it. So we are done with 2. This is a very basic one. This is pretty simple, but it needs patience. This was already done. It just involves dots. I'll just show you how it's done. You just need to fill up with dots. Even for this, I had bordered it out, and you can see there are no lines, pencil lines anymore. So you can erase it, that's optional.